In a quiet corner of Montana, where winters bite deep and stars shine endlessly, there lived a 16-year-old boy named Ethan Miller. He wasn't extraordinary, not the smartest in class, not the best at sports, and certainly not the most popular. But Ethan had something few could see, a heart built from the same courage that once defined his father, a local firefighter. When Ethan was just 10, his father, David Miller, ran into a burning building to save 2 trapped children. He never came out. The kids survived. His father didn't. That day, Ethan's world collapsed. He stopped talking much. His mother, working double shifts at the diner, did her best, but the house always felt empty, not just of people, but of warmth. At school, Ethan became the quiet kid in the corner, the one people whispered about. That's the boy whose dad died. Some said it with pity. Others said it like gossip. He hated both. Nights were the hardest. He'd lie awake listening to the wind howl across the plains, wondering if his dad could hear him. "Are you proud of me, Dad?" he'd whisper into the dark. No answer ever came. One evening, while helping his mom clean the attic, Ethan stumbled upon a dusty box labeled DM inside. He found his father's old journaled pages filled with notes, sketches, and a motto written over and over again. "When life burns you down, rebuild from the ashes." Those words stuck. They felt like a message meant for him. That night, he read every page. His dad had written about fear, failure, and courage, not as a hero, but as a man who sometimes doubted himself. Ethan realized something. His father wasn't perfect. He was human, and that made his courage even more real. The next morning, Ethan did something unusual. He walked to the fire station. The same one where his father worked. The chief looked surprised. "Ethan, you okay, kid?" Ethan nodded. "I want to help. Any way I can." At first, they gave him small jobs, cleaning, sorting hoses, checking equipment. But soon, Ethan became part of the crew, even if unofficially. He listened, learned, and worked hard not for money, but for purpose. And somewhere between the smell of smoke and the hum of sirens, he found a piece of himself again. But life doesn't reward you instantly. One day, his mom fell ill. Medical bills piled up. The house mortgage lagged. Ethan thought about quitting school to work full-time. That night, he sat by the lake near town, the same place where he and his dad used to fish. He threw a small rock into the still water and said aloud, "Why does it always have to hurt before it gets better?" And then, he remembered his father's words. Rebuild from the ashes. The next day, Ethan recorded a short video on his cracked phone. In it, he spoke about his dad's story not as tragedy, but as hope. He said, "We all lose something. But maybe, just maybe, what we lose isn't gone, it's waiting for us to become strong enough to find it again." He posted it online. He didn't expect anyone to see it. But overnight, it exploded. Thousands of people shared it. Firefighters across the country commented. Mothers wrote messages saying his words helped them through grief. Local news covered it. Ethan's story inspired donations that helped pay his mom's bills, and more importantly, it reignited something in his town: pride, unity, purpose. Months later, the fire chief invited Ethan to speak at the Firefighters' Memorial Day event. Standing before hundreds of people, he took a deep breath. He said, "My dad taught me that bravery isn't about running into a fire. It's about standing tall when your world is burning around you. I thought I lost him, but I realize now, he never left. He's in every life I choose to touch." People stood. They clapped. Some cried. And as Ethan looked up, the wind brushed across his face, gentle, warm, like a silent "I'm proud of you, son." Years passed. Ethan went on to become a firefighter himself, serving the same town his father once did. But he didn't just fight fires, he visited schools, taught kids about courage, and built an online community called Beyond the Sorrow, where people shared their stories of loss and healing. His page grew into millions of followers not because he was famous, but because he was real. He never chased views. He chased meaning. And in doing so, he found both. If you ever find yourself broken, remember Ethan Miller's story. Pain isn't the end, it's the spark that begins something new. Because beyond the sorrow, there's always hope.
Life isn't always kind. We all face storms, loss, fear, moments that break us. But somewhere within that pain lies a spark waiting to rise again. Ethan's story reminds us that courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "Keep going." If this story touched your heart, I invite you to stay with us. Subscribe to Beyond the Sorrow, where every ending becomes a new beginning, and every story reminds us that hope never truly dies.